All right, we're back for even more Drop Everything and Read. Although this is our third session today, you're getting this as your dear for tomorrow. As you know, Fridays are for meetings and things like that. And I know this is a very important chapter, so I wanted to continue. I know I left you with a very challenging question, but if Khalil's not celebrating, how can they? Why praise Jesus since he let Khalil get shot in the first place? So that question, how can bad things happen to good people? She's really struggling with that right now. So, as I mentioned, I hope you reached out to someone that's important to you and you told them that they were valuable to your life, or maybe perhaps even told them you love them. We'll get back into this emotional part of the book. Make sure you have a Kleenex close at hand because, as I mentioned, this is a tough chapter. I put my face in my hands, hoping to drown out the drums, the horns, the shouting. This doesn't make any sense. After all that praising, some of Khalil's classmates, the ones who were in the parking lot in the t-shirts, make a presentation. They give his family the cap and gown Khalil would have worn in a few months and cry as they tell funny stories I've never heard, yet I'm the one in the front row on the friend's side. I'm such a phony. Next, the lady with the twist goes up to the podium. Her black pencil skirt and blazer are more professional looking than church looking, and she's wearing an R.I.P. Khalil t-shirt too. Good morning, she says. Everyone responds. My name is April Ofra, and I'm with Just Us for Justice. We are a small organization here in Garden Heights that advocates for police accountability. Read that again. Advocates for police accountability. An advocate is someone who speaks up for, who tries to make something happen, and they are trying to make police accountable. We're not talking about attacks on police. We're not talking about police brutality, just trying to make them accountable for their actions. As we say farewell to Khalil, we find our hearts burdened with the harsh truth of how he lost his life. Just before the start of the service, I was informed that despite a credible eyewitness account, the police department has no intentions of arresting the officer who murdered this young man. What? I say as people murmur around the sanctuary. Everything I told them, and they're not arresting him? What they don't want you to know, Miss Ofer says, is that Khalil was unarmed at the time of his murder. People really start talking then. A couple of folks yell out, including one person who's bold enough to shout, "This is BS in a church." We won't give up until Khalil receives justice. Miss Ofra, or Ofra, I apologize. Miss Ofra says, over talking, I ask you to join us and Khalil's family after the service for a peaceful march to the cemetery. Our route happens to pass the police station. Khalil was silenced, but let's join together and make our voices heard for him. Thank you. Again, that theme of your voice being your most powerful weapon. She's trying to use their voice or their silence, a quiet, peaceful march, to hold the police accountable for the actions. The congregation gives her a standing ovation. As she returns to her seat, she glances at me. If Miss Rosalie told the pastor I was with Khalil, she probably told this lady too. I bet she wants to talk. Pastor Eldridge just about preaches Khalil into heaven. I'm not saying Khalil didn't make it to heaven. I don't know. But Pastor Eldridge tries to make sure he gets there. He sweats and breathes so hard I get tired of looking at him. At the end of the eulogy, again, eulogy is the speech that the pastor and others may be saying, memorializing Khalil's death. So eulogy, a piece of writing about someone's death and sort of their life story before they died. He says, if anybody wishes to view the body, now is the... He stared to the back of the church. Murmurs bubble around the sanctuary. So you can see that the priest has looked up and people are talking. So there must be something going on at the back of the church. Mama looks back. What in the world? King and a bunch of his boys post up in the back in their gray clothes and bandanas. Remember, King is the leader of a gang. King has his arm hooked around a lady in a tight black dress that barely covers her thighs. She has way too much weave in her head. For real, it comes down to her butt, and way too much makeup on. Seven turns back around. I wouldn't want to see my mama looking like that either. But why are they? So clearly, it's Seven's mom. But why are they? King Lords only show up at King Lord funerals. Pastor Eldridge clears his throat. As I was saying, if anyone wishes to view the body, now is the time. King and his boys swagger down the aisle. Everybody stares. Leisha waits or walks alongside him. Aisha walks alongside him, all proud, not realizing she looks a hot mess. She glances at my parents and smirks, and I can't stand her. I mean, not just because of how she treats Seven, but because every time she shows up, there's suddenly an unspoken tension between my parents. Like now, Mama shifts her shoulder so it's not as close to Daddy, and his jaw is clenched. She's the Achilles heel of their marriage, and it's only noticeable if you've been watching it for 16 years like I have. We'll pause there for a second. Achilles' heel refers to Greek mythology, and they are talking about a weakness, someone's weakness. So the weakness of their marriage. So somehow we're going to learn more about Aisha's relationship between Lisa and Maverick. King, Aisha, and the rest of them go up to the casket. One of King's boys hands him a folded gray bandana, and he lays it across Khalil's chest. My heart stops. Khalil was a King Lord too? Miss Rosalie jumps up. Like hell you will. She marches to the coffin and snatches the bandana off Khalil. She starts toward King, but Daddy catches her halfway and holds her back. Get out of here, you demon, she screams. Take this mess with you. She throws the bandana at the back of King's head. He stills. Slowly, he turns around. Now look. But, hey, Daddy says. King, man, just go. Leave, aight? You old hag, Aisha snarls. Got some nerve treating my man like this after he offered to pay for this funeral. He can keep his filthy money, Miss Rosalie says, and you can take your behind right out the door, too. Coming in the Lord's house looking like the prostitute you are? Seven shakes his head. It's no secret that my big brother is the result of a for hire session Daddy had with Aisha after a fight with Mama. So for hire, we see the words prostitute. The clues are coming together. Mama and Lisa, or Daddy and Mama had a fight, and Aisha was there. Aisha was King's girl, but he told her to hook Maverick up, not knowing Seven would come along looking exactly like Daddy. Messed up, I know. Mama reaches behind me and rubs Seven's back. There are rare times when Seven's not around, and Mama thinks Connie and I can't hear her, that she'll tell Daddy, I still can't believe you slept with that nasty. But Seven can't be around when he's around. None of that matters. She loves him more than she hates Aisha. Love conquers all. Another example. The King Lords leave, and conversations break out all around. Daddy leads Miss Rosalie to her seat. She's so mad, she's actually shaking. I look at the mannequin, otherwise known as Khalil, in the coffin. All those horror stories Daddy told us about gangbanging and Khalil becoming a King Lord. How could he even think about doing that? It doesn't make sense, though. He had green in his car. That's what garden disciples do, not King Lords. And he didn't run to help out with the fight at Big D's party. But the bandana? Daddy once said that that's a King Lord tradition. They crown their fallen comrades by putting a folded bandana on the body, as if to say they're going into heaven repping their set. Khalil must have joined to get that honor. And this is confusing for Star because she doesn't think her friend would do that. And unfortunately, her friend's not around to say either way, whether he was there, just associated with them, or an actual member, or what. They're not able to find out the truth. I could have talked him out of it. I know it. But I abandoned him. I shouldn't even be at this funeral. I'm not on his friend's side. Daddy stays with Miss Rosalie for the rest of the service and later helps her when the family follows the casket out. Aunt Tammy motions us over to join them. Thank you for being here, she tells me. You meant a lot to Khalil. I hope you know that. My throat tightens too much for me to tell her he means a lot to me too. So again, her most powerful weapon is failing her. We follow the casket with the family. Just about everyone we pass has tears in their eyes. For Khalil, he really is in that casket, and he's not coming back. I've never told anyone, but Khalil was my first crush. He unknowingly introduced me to stomach butterflies and later heartbreak when he got his own crush on Imani Anderson, a high schooler who wasn't even thinking about fourth grade him. I worried about my appearance for the first time around him. But the crush, he was one of the best friends I ever had, no matter if we saw each other every day or once a year. Time didn't compare to all the stuff we went through together. And now he's in a casket like Natasha. Big fat tears fall from my eyes and I sob, a loud, nasty, ugly sob that everybody hears and sees as I come up the aisle. They left me, I cry. Mama wraps her arm around me and presses my head onto her shoulder. I know, baby, but we're here. We aren't going anywhere. Warmth brushes my face and I know we're outside. All of the voices and noises make me look. There are more people out there than in the church, holding posters with Khalil's face on them and signs that say justice for Khalil. His classmates have posters saying, "Am I next?" and "Enough is enough." New vans with tall antennas are parked across the street, so news vans. So the media is there to cover this event. The funeral has turned into a public spectacle. I bury my face in Mama's shoulder again. People I don't know pat my back and tell me it'll be okay. I can't tell when it's Daddy who's rubbing my back without him even saying anything. Pardon me. I can tell without him even saying anything. "We're going to stay in March, baby," he tells Mama. "I want Seven and Sakani to be a part of this." "Yeah, I'm taking her home. How are you all getting back?" "We can walk to the store. I got to open up anyway." He kisses my hair. "I love you, baby girl. Get some rest, all right?" Heels clack toward us. Then someone says, "Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Carter. I'm April Ofra with Just Us for Justice." We'll pause there as we're reaching the end of our 15 minutes once again. There will be another link posted momentarily. Take care. Thanks again for tuning in. And I hope you're doing okay with these feelings. I really wish we were together.